tell me a little bit about your career and why you became a professional speaker?
All right. The stage has been on my agenda for a very long time. So both of my parents are musicians. So that started very early, that performing and being on stage was something very normal to me. And then as I got older, I started to sing in choirs and jazz music and wanted to become a musical theater actress. And actually, after a while, I quit from the stage at that time. I did 2 years of musical theater training. And then I realized, this is a tough place. This is really a tough place because all people are like this and they want to be best on stage. And at that age, it felt like too much for me. So I turned my back onto to the stage and I was like, okay, maybe a little bit of choir singing, but not for me. So it's quite interesting because today I think totally differently. But I turned towards science at the time. So I studied phonetics and speech pathology to actually get knowledge of the theory and the science behind the singing and speaking. And after a while, when I finished and I started to become a coach and trainer, then it came back to me. And it came back to me that I was writing books. And then, okay, there was the stage again. And actually, I fought with quite a bit of stage fright before entering the stage again. But once I'd done it, I loved it so much. So it's a logical conclusion of what I did before.
When you got on stage again and in this form of speaking, what was different for you? Why did it feel more like home instead of the singing?
Well, actually, it was like I could give my message to the world. I could do what I thought was best for me and also for my customers and the audience, of course. So I could serve better than to always prove like I'm the best and I'm the best singer and da da da. That pressure I couldn't take. But giving my message and serving the world, that really, really got me going.
What do we say is your purpose?
Well, if people ask me that, actually, it's something like I want to make the world a better sounding place. I think we have a lot of tense voices and voices that carry aggression and conflict and division and a lot more. So you can listen on the train, on the bus, how people talk to each other. And I think it's part of my own journey and also my journey for what I'm serving with is how can we use our voices without the stress and without the anger and without the aggression in it? And so I think if we learn a little bit about our voices, the world can sound nicer.
That brings me into basically what we've been experiencing in the last year. I mean, you're saying you listen to people on the train and trams and stuff, and the voices sound filled with anger and I assume frustration.
Yeah.
How do you think changing our voice can help us in this time and going into the future? Maybe to connect better or something, but how do you think the voice contributes to us as a society?
I think it contributes, first of all, for me, voice is energy. So we have to take care of our own energy right now. So if I'm aggressive or whatever it is, I'm fearful most, as not me, but many people are fearful. And I think fear leads to anger. And so we need somebody who is responsible for what's happening right now and that people lose their jobs and they can't work and stuff like that. So it's the fear leads to aggression, and then the voices get harsh and they get accusing, and the content also changes a lot. So I think if we pull back from the energy in the voices that is like pressure, if we go a step back a little bit and find our soft voices and our loving voices and our self-care in the voice, then I think the sound in daily life could actually switch. But it's hard work actually, and you need to get to know your voice. You need to get to know your body, and it's all changing. So you need to be very aware of what kind of language and voice you're giving. I think first of all, leaders have to be very self-aware right now to also manage their own inner voices, because they get, of course, pressure from above and from below, and people are scared. The people they are working with, they get scared, and there's still a lot of pressure, I think, in terms of revenues and stuff like that. So it's a big deal of self-management. So first of all, how do I talk to myself, my inner voices? How do I judge myself if things are not going well? Or do I speak to me, to myself, in a caring way and understanding and empathic way? And so I think it's mostly self-management, and what comes out, I mean, sound is the last result. The voice is the last result of everything that's been going on inside. So actually what comes out then is you have to manage what's going on before, and then take care of the voice. And if we take care of ourselves, then it's easier also to take care of others. And taking care of others, of the people in my company, would mean that I control the voice in terms of not being harsh, as again, not being too fast and judgy and stuff like that. So not transferring the pressure that I feel onto my employees. So that is something. I mean, actually, eventually it's the same as in normal life, because also there, I think leaders have to take care that they choose their voice wisely. Otherwise, it can kick back on them and the employees don't perform. So, yeah, I think. As for my job as a coach, I see opportunities everywhere. So this is, I think, something that we, and also many colleagues, I observed that in the crisis, many saw possibilities instead of the lack that, of course, hit all of us by things, trainings and coachings not happening anymore, and speakings. And so the possibilities or opportunities, I think, for everyone is connecting even through this kind of stuff, like connecting in a digital way, and really try to feel that connection as well. So I'm talking to you now, you're far away, and I'm talking to people in whatever, US or Iceland or whatever. So it's a big opportunity to connect on a global level, and this is beautiful. And I learned so much from colleagues from all over the place. So I think this new aspect of contact is a big, big, big opportunity. And at the same time, actually, sometimes I have to close down all media because it's so much. And then now there's Clubhouse, and there's this and that and that. And you have that FOMO, that fear of missing out. And that is a little danger as well. But I think the opportunities are huge. And also, again, if you choose it wisely, and if you connect with people who are thinking the same way as you do, like in opportunities, not in lack. And there, I think we have a great empowerment that can go on with that. The one tip,
You can give three as well, but I mean,
yeah, I was like, what it's connect. It's really like, I've learned a lot of people that I thought were not my kind of people, but within the connection now, I realized, wow, these are really cool people, because the connection and the support with each other has gotten so stable. Within the GSA in Germany, we had like this support. I never thought that would happen. That was awesome. Like everybody was giving tips to each other. So connect, be open, and really try to grow with each other. And that was a big, huge learning, that in this change process, it's so crucial to have a team, to have buddies, to have real people to connect with. And that was actually my big resource in the last year. Oh, yes, currently. I'm drowning in work because I'm setting up for the first time in my life a real business model for what I'm doing. Because as to now, my business kind of ran by itself, which was beautiful, but I didn't have to do much marketing or stuff like that. So right now, I'm trying to invent my own online business. So I'm thinking like a CEO instead of a freelancer. This is very new to me. And I love doing that. And I haven't been that structured before. So that is my main task right now, to structure my business. Yeah, that's very true. And I think measuring things now that they are scalable and measurable, I think learning that is a huge benefit for myself at least. And I can totally agree to you. Like I've been overthinking for long. And when we were on lockdown for the first second, I saw people very fast creating online courses and putting them out there. But that moment, I did not take action. Actually, I was waiting for a little moment for some months, like 2 or 3 months. The only thing that I did, and there was a colleague, Martin Zenger from the GSA, he was extremely helpful because he saw my confusion and he was like, "Oh my, let's figure out something for you to do." And then he came up to me and he said, "Let's get your coachings online so that people can book them online and you can perform via Zoom." And so we did that together, and he helped me doing this. And all of a sudden, I had customers from everywhere in Germany and Austria and Switzerland. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I should have done that before. So all of a sudden you get, because we have, as we write books and stuff like that, we have a range and a reach maybe bigger than we think.
Mm.
And actually, it was like harvesting the seeds that I'd had planted over my work in 16 years. So I wasn't aware of that. And that was beautiful to see that the work had grown by itself, basically. And now I could really get some benefit out of it. And that was cool. Well, first of all, I named Martin Zenger. He's coaching for the online area. He's been doing that for quite some years, and actually, he inspired me a lot. And then that many colleagues actually within the GSA that started to create and to shift their businesses. I can't really name because there's so many. Actually, I saw them and keep seeing them all the time on our members page and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of guys, actually they turned it all like in high level techniques. That is so funny, with Thorsten Jekyll and Ralf Schmidt and Emmanuel Koch. They're like little boys playing around with the techniques, and it's so funny and nice and lovely to see them like, oh, do you know that tweak, and do you know that tweak? And I'm like, I don't know, but you guys are great. So I love that. That inspires me a lot. But you can see that the boys are more into the tech stuff. Even though my colleague Sonja Grundemann, she went with the boys and she built her own little TV studio. So people inspire me on many levels, and it's more, one is connection. So offering service and really connecting within our GSA talks on Friday. Like everybody gave content, like how can I do this and how can I do that, and there were so many people I could mention right now. That would be too long, but it's really awesome how we reacted on that and how we adapted as a community. Yes, actually, I will talk about the topic of voice and how to effectively ruin your voice, in brackets, not. So there are many people and also colleagues, also speakers who turned to me and said, oh, wow, after 8 hours of Zoom meetings, I'm hoarse. And what can I do differently? So, and also in my online courses, I meet people who have difficulties with their voices. So I will talk about how to use your voices properly, how to take care that you're not getting hoarse and not getting problems with the voice in that crisis, because we need to take care of that. And there's a little bit about the tech stuff as well, but not too much because I like to keep it simple. But of course, there are some things to actually take care of, that you have a microphone phone at last. But also, if you use certain techniques and using your body as an instrument, you can talk like for ages and not have a problem. And that is what I'm going to talk about.
You would tell speakers one tip and what skill to acquire. What would that be?
The skill that we all need right now is make the camera your friend and not be afraid of it. And that's one part of my training as well, that we turn towards the camera and that we learn to perform a little bit more instead of like like in the corporate world, many people are so scared and they hide, and the light is bad, and so make the camera your friend and really try to treat it as something special you're talking to, and you send your voice in there, and you send all your energy and your love in there, and that is something that we need to take care of and really take care of each other in that whole setting. Actually, what I've mentioned before, the community thinking and the big help for each other, that really touched me, because like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, we are all like individuals on stages, and the community has been great before, but now it's even greater and it's even more creative. And I mean, what touched me? The first a couple of sessions when we were all clueless about, we had all those cancellations and we were all like really, really low and down, and we didn't know what to live from. That first page of Corona, that really struck me. And actually, it was funny because we had a little winter convention in Dresden, not that little, but it's not as big as the yearly convention. So we all went to Dresden, and it was just before the lockdown. And we had such intense 2 days because we were on the brink of, oh my God, can we actually finish this convention, or do we have to go home? Is it going to be forbidden? What do we do here? So that was actually the last people I really hugged was there. The last party I drank my beer was there. So it's my fellow speakers that I had my last party weekend, kind of. And that was really touching because we all felt there is something coming that is bigger than our imagination. And yeah, that was very touching. And I'm so glad that I went, because I went on last minute. I didn't plan on going, and just, I don't know what happened. I was like, yeah, let's go. And I took a ticket from a colleague, and I went there. So that was really, really deep, because we all sensed, oh, this is gonna be changing. And then afterwards, since we had those good vibes, then coming into those calls and helping each other, that was a complete package of being with each other. Well, I love innovation and change, and I'm looking forward to actually getting to know new people and international new people, and also hear what the colleagues will put in their speeches and topics. And yeah, it's that big topic, innovation, that we can grab in a positive way. And I'm looking forward to those positive and new and innovative vibes that will come. I'm sure they will come. I'm looking forward to it very, very much.